Welcome, friends, to this, the Word Cloud Tarot Show. Today is the 22nd of February 2021, and Boris Johnson has been in the House of Commons revealing his four-step plan, an irreversible four-step plan, he says, to get us out of lockdown. Now, it looks like a reasonable plan to me, with the proviso that the dates probably will slip. They look a bit optimistic. But I don't know a lot about these things. Perhaps the tarot can help us work it out. Tarot, can you tell us about the path out of lockdown? We will do a reading today to find out. We will use the Word Cloud Tarot deck. This is the deck that I designed to make tarot reading as easy as it can possibly be. As you can see, all of the cards have the meanings of the card written onto the face of the card in plain English in a word cloud. So for instance, here we can see that the 17 of trumps is called Star, and it's about creativity and enthusiasm and confidence. So that's how the cards work. Them being so easy to read means that this is a very transparent reading for you, if I don't throw the cards all over the ground. So, what are we to think of the four steps? Well, I think I kind of want to pull a card for each of the steps, really. So that plus another card for the beginning and the end of the reading, for the past and the future, should give us a 6-card spread, which I have called Steps. And as we read the cards, we will have one card which represents the past, one card which represents step 1, one card which represents step 2, also for step 3 and for step 4, and then a final card for the future. So, what do the cards say? As I mentioned, the first of these cards, it represents the past, and that card is the 14th sword. 14th sword is the King of Swords, and that's about unwavering boldness and conviction. He's Spock-like with his arithmetic and judgment, simplicity of judgment. And that's what the history of the lockdown has been like. But we're now approaching, in about a week or so, on the 8th of March, phase 1, step 1. In step 1, basically the schools will go back, and you can meet up with friends outdoors, just one-on-one. And the card that represents that stage is the 20th trump card. Eon or Aeon, I'm never really even sure how to say that. But the Aeon card is all about epochs, of course, and about considering afterlives. It's about change and renewal, realizations and atonement. So that's what the cards think of step 1. Now in step 2, shops and hairdressers will be able to reopen. There will be holidays allowed again, holiday lets, and the pubs and restaurants will be open outdoors. This should be happening from the 12th of April if all is going well, and the card representing that is the 10 of trumps. The 10 of trumps is called Fortune, and it is about the wheel of fortune and luck. It's also about awards and death and enlightenment and phases and hope. We certainly hope to get through phase 2. Now phase 3, if all is going well, will start on the 17th of May. That allows us to meet up outdoors in big groups of up to 30. And indoors in groups of up to 6. Concert halls will reopen. And the card representing that time, that phase, is the 2 of Pentacles, which is known as change. As we can read here on this card, change is about innovativeness, responsiveness, self-motivation. It's about investments and differences, building teams, categorizing. Step 4 when we get there, it should be around the end of June. And all legal limits will be removed at that point if everything's going well. Nightclubs will even be allowed to reopen. The theatre will be allowed to show any show it wants. And the card representing that time is the Five of Pentacles, which is known as worry. It also is about desolation and bipolar separation. It's about malaise and sluggishness, about alcoholism. The final card on our deck here represents the future, a sort of overall view of the different steps. And that outcome card is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of... does that say Pentacles? It does. The Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is known as power. Now this is about warnings and controls and about manifestation. It's about security, foundations. So that gives us our broad deck. But in order to make a narrative out of it, we need to tell a story. So let's see what kind of summary we should have. Well, this time the lockdown has been unwavering. There's been a mandate for simplicity, an unwavering mandate. Stay at home, that's the current rule. Now, stage one, we allow the schools to go back and we'll enter a new age, a new eon. And there'll be some rebirth and awakening. So it sounds like stage one will probably go quite well. But in stage two, this seems like it's more of a gamble and it's likely to cause some death maybe, and certainly some doom and gloom. Perhaps the cards are saying we won't really be ready, but the government will take a risk and roll the dice and push ahead anyway. And that will produce some change for the next phase. In the next phase, perhaps we will go for more team building and be more cohesive about the way we do things. Make sure we are more resourceful and full of strength. Stage three, we might find some imbalance perhaps between the spread and the vaccination and the testing. And we might find that stage three drags on a little while, because stage four here, when the lockdowns finally end, this is a worry for the cards. The cards are suggesting that there'll be exasperating times and frustrating times, and that there'll be economic worry and desolation. So perhaps the start of stage four will be very delayed, or will be otherwise a very worrying time. So in the end, the cards are suggesting that the lockdown will have resulted in more power for the powerful, in state surveillance and more debt and lots of adjustment to be needed to the new powerful levels of state power. So all this worry and these phases and adjustment could easily end with there being a dangerous level of state power in the country. So that's what the cards think of Boris's one-way path out of lockdown. If you think you would like to do your own reading, you can, of course, buy your own pack of Word Cloud Tarot decks. These cards make tarot reading as easy as it can possibly be. Look how easy that is. You should probably go and buy some right now. But in the meantime, I'll be back next week and we'll do another reading, the first one in March. Bye-bye.